Today I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the problems that may occur with your Ysio or your Agile when the generator won't boot up and you get certain displays on your D600 board. Typically what you'll see is when your generator won't boot up correctly, you'll have abnormal displays on your D600 and D611 boards. When you open up the generator cabinet, you'll notice that the alphanumerics display on a D611, which should be 56, is now reading 11. And on the D600, should be 63, is .6. These are abnormal states which need to be remedied. So as we dig into the generator cabinet, the first thing we want to check is the 5-volt supply, which is entitled VCC. So here on the D611 board, there's a VCC terminal, and we use ground. And we have our digital multimeter set up for volts, and we see that our voltage is lower. It is 4.6 volts as opposed to the 5.15 it should be. To fix that, what we need to do is one of two things, either an adjustment or an adjustment on the connector itself. So with our power supply being too low, we need to open up the cabinet to gain access to the power supply. In doing so, there's two nuts over here that you have to remove. Once you remove those, you can carefully slide this open. And you notice on the back side of this door is the power supply. The first thing we need to do is address this connector right here and or possibly this adjustment. Most times I've seen that this connector oxidizes. And when it oxidizes, it becomes resistive. When it becomes resistive, your voltage drops. So the first thing we're going to do is kill the power to the system. In addition, we're going to kill the breaker down here. This makes the unit safe so we can work on it now. And the object here is to take this connector off and reinstall it several times to break the oxidation level that's on those pins. In order to correct the condition on this connector, what we need to do is take it off. So sometimes you need to use a set of needle nose pliers to get it started. Once it's off, you want to put it back on, take it off, put it back on, repeat that process about a half a dozen times, and then finally reseat it. Since reseating the connector, we've turned the machine back on, and we're monitoring the same points for the voltage for VCC, and we can see it's jumped up a little bit. We're now currently at 4.65 volts. System is still booting up. Now that we've made the adjustment to the connector, and we've taken care of the oxidation issue, we're still monitoring the DC voltage off of VCC, and we can still see it's a little bit low as compared to the 5.15 level it's supposed to be. So this is where our adjustment comes in on the power supply. And you'll see there's a little potentiometer here that we'll need to adjust. Watching our DC multimeter, we simply set this up for 5.15. There would be a little bit higher than 5.15, but that's okay. We're at 5.19 volts. Now that we corrected the oxidation issue with the 5-volt connector and the power supply, and then did the adjustment, we then did a simple reboot just to make sure everything comes back up correctly. We'll notice on the D611 board, it's showing 6.3, and the D600 board, it's showing 5.6. These are the correct values that should be displayed on these boards. For more tips like this, call us or visit our website.